Hey everybody, today we're going to do a video on detective work at the bridge table. We'll call this video Sherlock Holmes. This is from a hand I played earlier this week. I sat south. My left-hand opponent opened one no trump showing 11 to 14 points. And it went pass, and I did 2 spades. Now perhaps north-south actually want to be in 4 spades, but this is a video about play of the hand. And I will tell you that there's 2 possible results in 2 spades. That would be making 4 and making 5. Making 4 would be worth 16.7% on the hand. That's what I got because I messed up even after figuring out a couple of these detective points. I still drew the wrong conclusion and misplayed the hand. If I could have made 5, which was available on the deal on any old opening lead that West can make, that would have been worth 41.7%. So a quarter of the board was at stake here. And let me show you what I mean by detective work. My left-hand opponent led the 10 of hearts. Now, the hugest tip I have for you as far as detective work that's fairly easy is that anytime your opponents have bid no trump, such that you know that they have a specific number of high card points, we can do exercises like this. So what's that mean for this hand? If I count my points, I have 3 aces for 12, and the dummy has 13, which gives the offense 25 points, and 25 from 40 leaves the defense with 15 points. West said he's got 11 to 14 of those, which means the East has between 1 and 4. Well, let's start doing our detective work. The 10 of hearts opening lead, which was standard, okay, our opponents were playing standard leads, means that right-hand opponent has the jack, okay? If left-hand opponent held both the jack and the 10, we would have seen the jack led. The other thing to notice is this club suit, where we are missing the king, the queen, and the jack. Now, almost certainly, if West had held all 3 of those cards, we would have seen the king of clubs led in preference to the 10 of hearts. So we know that East has at least one of those club cards. And if you're missing 3 in a row, the card that non-opening leader probably has is the middle one. Because if opening leader had king-queen, he might very well have chosen to lead the king. And if he had queen-jack, he might very well have chosen to lead the queen. But when he's got king-jack, that's a harder suit to lead from. So it's not 100%, but there's a pretty strong inference that right-hand opponent has the queen of clubs as well. Now earlier we said he had a maximum of 4, and we've already figured out jack of hearts and queen of clubs. And there's one missing jack, so right-hand opponent might also have the jack of clubs. Luckily for us, that's not a super important card. The cards that are important are the king of diamonds, okay, so we know that like we can't try a roughing finesse. We can't lead the queen of diamonds, and if it gets covered, rough it, have a winner in the dummy, or if it doesn't get covered, pitch a loser. That won't work because we know that West has the king of diamonds. The other 2 important cards, obviously, are the king, queen, and trump, and we know that they're with left-hand opponent because of what we know about the other suits. Okay, so here it would be fruitless to try to finesse trumps. Okay? And I got to that point in the analysis, and then unfortunately I decided to play West for the king-queen doubleton of spades rather than stripping the hand. Okay, so I did about 75% of the work. Then I got lazy and didn't do the rest, I guess. So let's show you how the hand plays out. I'm going to show you some stripping technique here. And all we're going to do once we figure out that the spade finesse is destined to fail is play our winners and strip the hand. Now let's pause for a second because this is where I went wrong in the actual play. I didn't cash my ace of hearts because I was a little bit worried that it was getting roughed. Not even sure I should have been worried about that. But actually, there's another piece of detective work that would tell you the ace of hearts isn't being ruffed. The ace of hearts, we're getting ruffed. And remember, we know that right-hand opponent still has the jack from the opening lead, so we know he's not the one that's trumping it. If the ace of hearts were getting trumped on our left, what would that mean about the heart distribution? Well, it would mean that the opening leader had 2 and right-hand opponent had 5. How would this auction have gone if right-hand opponent had 5 hearts? It would have gone 1 no trump, pass, transfer to hearts. So we actually know that the heart suit is breaking 4-3 also, and it's safe to go ahead and cash the ace of hearts. Or we pitch a club from the dummy, that's fine. Now if we go to our double dummy analysis, it's going to tell us that a club to the ace is fine, I believe. Yeah, let's just go ahead and take some more tricks here. Continuing stripping the hand. King of diamonds hasn't fallen yet, that's fine. And at this point, looking at our double dummy, play the 5 of hearts from our hand, and West has no good option. Okay, if he were to ruff it, we can either over-ruff the 6 of spades, or if he roughs it big with the king of spades, we pitch the losing club from the dummy. Okay, so let's see how both of those would go. So we play the 6 of spades, and if we go to the dummy, you'll see the 3 by the jack of spades. So let's undo that play. If he roughs the king of spades, the 7 of clubs is going to have a 3 by it, right? And that would be our play. So neither of those will work. The king of diamonds looks like kind of a weird card to play. So let's make him play the most flexible thing. Let's make him play the king of clubs. And we rough this in the dummy to lead another diamond, right? Having done our detective work earlier, we know that West has to follow to a diamond. And it doesn't matter if East roughs here or not, we'll make him pitch. At this point, all we have to do is lead our losing club. And it matters not whether East overtakes this or not. Okay, if he doesn't overtake it, say he plays the 10 or 6, West is end played in trumps. If he overtakes it, West is still going to get end played in trumps. But there's kind of a cool little style thing here. So let's give East style for overtaking. And then when he returns a club at trick 11, and we want to rough it small in our hand, because if we rough with the ace, West gets to win the king-queen at tricks 12 and 13. So we rough small, West over roughs, and now even though we don't need to, we can actually gain style points by under-roughing from the dummy. Right? It doesn't matter. We've got the ace-9 tennis in our own hand, and we can claim 5. So I hope you enjoyed this one. This is mainly about the detective work you can do based on the dogs that went bark in the night and the dogs that didn't go bark in the night.